should know that he brought it out from his own. So we take all the tools from universal prayer and try to build up, to put it in our own language. Pujya Swami was he has also written that immediately after he came back from the military life in Palghat, he gets up at 3 o'clock in the morning and goes to the temple tank and he will have his dip, and then he will sit on the step, and then he will stand and sing his own composition. May not be melodious. He says, everybody will mock at me. But at the same time, I am sure, I am clear that he can understand my language. To others it may not be impressive, but I am convinced that he will understand my language. When he started reading it for the 3-4 times, then we could understand how the struggle for the originalism comes out, in total disregard to what others say. Yes.
Thank you, Swamiji. Hari Om Swamiji.
Pranam Swamiji. Swamiji, 7 points were shared on chapter 1. 7 points were shared on chapter 1. From that, the 4th point, trying to understand God's impersonal aspect, great void, Ram. Wherein you have given an example of a house being constructed in an empty space, being demolished and all that. We were trying to understand the great void space and were unable to understand in the group. Could you please explain further on that?
I'm unable to hear.
Swamiji, she is asking, explain about great void, unable to understand.
She was telling that we were talking about the
7 points from chapter 1, 7 points we made it. In that 4th point is about the great void. In the group, they tried to discuss and understand, they could not. Is it possible for you to explain again?
Great void.
Yes, Swamiji.
Great void is inexpressible. But at the same time, we can try. Because that is the reality in which we all exist. That is the reality because of which we all exist. That is the reality because of which all these expressions come. Somehow, when they have, we will try. So everybody says, space is easy to understand. In the space, everything is going on. But space does not get affected. In the space, everything exists. Everything sustains. Everything gets perished. But space remains the same. Today you cultivate, suppose you have got a half an acre or 1 acre plot. Today you cultivate some pulsar. After it gives you, you harvest it, you remove it, you go in for some vegetables. After the harvest, you again remove it. Like that, you change so many things. From the seed level to the fruit level, and it decay in that. But the space remains the same. Space remains unaffected by it. Like that, we start thinking. God is nothing but His awareness. He is like a space in which all thoughts, words, deeds, emotions, creations, where it are existing. They are created. They live for some time. They go away, but it remains the same. Like that, whatever we know, through the knowable, we try to know the unknown. So these are all the knowable things. Again, we will repeat about the sight. When we buy a sight, we see plain sight, a piece of earth, 60 by 40, okay. This is our sight, building sight. Then we do Bhumi Puja and we start constructing. As soon as it reaches the foundation stage from the base and then to the basement, you are slowly forgetting the sight. Then when the wall work starts, then the lintel, then the RCC roof work, then the doors, windows, then you have completely forgotten about the site. Then finally the house is ready for housewarming. You are not telling a word about the site. You are only telling about what all you have brought about on the site. And then you enjoy. But all the time, the site is there, untouched, unaffected. Tomorrow, after 5 years or 10 years, you want to modify, you want to demolish and rebuild. Nowadays, the big cities, you have got this rebuilding. But it allows everything to be done. The site remains the same. Sight is not affected. Sight is not affected even when it is not acknowledged. Sight does not prevent us from using this way or that way. So just imagine, God is like that. In this great void means, nothing. When the great void means, it is not nothing. It is empty of our knowable. Whatever we know, if we remove it, what remains? It is empty, no doubt. Empty of what we know. In a vessel, when we remove everything, we say it is an empty. But we know very well, it is not empty. The air is there, the space is there. So similarly, what we know is not there. But if something is there, in which all these contents take place. So it's a big container, okay. Great word stands for the big container. The container remains untouched or unaffected by its content. Today it will be sambar, tomorrow it will be rasam, day after tomorrow it will be buttermilk, the other day it will be something else, payasam. But the container, remains untouched and unaffected. It is available for the purpose for which we do it. So it doesn't protest, it doesn't say, it doesn't expect any time from us. But without that, nothing can be made. So similarly, we can bring in all these knowables, to understand the unknowable. Even then it may not be clear, but we have been promised that with the knowable you go up to a certain stage, and through inward journey, you will get a glimpse of it. Because that is the reality, that is the truth, it is not an illusion. It is not a thing that you have superimposed. It is the reality. So you will come to know it. In order to make us aware of it, we can bring in so many similes that are known to us. So Pujya Mataji used to always say, the gap between us and the sky, for example, where everything is accommodated, all our noble things are accommodated, all the Panchabhutas are accommodated, all the varied creations are accommodated, we are accommodated with a different taste, with a different temperament, with a different aptitude, with a different priorities, with a different preferences. with different taste, but everything is this. We know that. So like that, we do that some inward journey, and we will get some idea about it. And that idea will slowly initiate us into an experiential state. Papa did not explain about the great void. He wanted all of us to do the manna. He immediately changed it to Ram. And he said Ram stands for the mysterious power. So try to bring the knowable. When you take a bucket, when you take a bowl, you see, when you empty the content, you see that there is a void. But now you know it is not empty. All its characteristics you now understand. Whatever it accommodates everything. That is called inclusion. It accommodates everything. But it doesn't get affected. So many deplorable things happen. It doesn't get affected. So many noble things happen. It doesn't get affected. So many things become static. It doesn't get affected. It provides, facilitates everything. Why and where are? We have no question. And then he makes us to question this. He also gives us answers from within, intuitively. So let us, instead of concentrating more and more on that, we would request, have this idea basically that God is something like a big container. And they are all, the sense of individuality is in it, as Swamiji said, floating. Now our idea is to connect ourselves with the container. The sense of individuality is trying to know that it is only a content. A content can become a content only when there is a container in it. So now our effort is to connect ourselves with the container. Let us concentrate more and more on that. Where from this sound comes? Where from the thought comes? Only from Him. So we start addressing not as great voice, we start addressing Him as He, O Lord. Because it is difficult to address a great voice. So we address Him either in the personal way or the impersonal way, but we know that He is there, otherwise His word will not come. His activity will not be there. So we will address, you are there. You are the container. You have made me as a content, but you have made me to forget that I am a content in the container. Kindly, why don't you please connect me? Why don't you make me aware that I am a content in you, the container? So that my sense of individuality will act, work, do everything with the knowledge that I am within the container. The moment the container pushes me out, finished, I cannot exist. Something like that we can try. So through great void can be named as container, the big container, the great container.
But then Swamiji, we are also instruments, na?
We are also?
Instruments.
Instrument.
How do we relate with it then?
In each one of us, this container element is there. And the container element is expressed through this content. If the content is not there, how do we know that there is a container? Think about it. If the sense of individuality, if we are not there, why? Who will pursue for God realization or aspiration? So a bhakta is needed to know that Bhagavan is there. Bhagavan by himself is not expressed. Bhagavan expresses through bhaktas. So the eight voice by itself cannot express. It can express only through its creation. So that in that sense we can say we are all his instruments. Nityamatram Bhavasabhyabhajin. So we are the fruit, but he is the player. But the play, he is the player will know only when the fruit is on. The music comes only through that. Anything. Any instrument, you can say that. The force behind the instrument and the instrument is different. But without that instrument, without that bulb, the electricity is not seen. We know about electricity through the bulb or through any gadgets. So they are all instruments of electricity. It expresses. So in the same way, the mysterious power, the great voice, the container, expresses itself through the content. So in that way we are called the instruments. But we have forgotten. We think we are the masters and not instruments. So as Sadhakas, we are trying to understand that we are only an instrument and he is the powerful from it. All these needs word journey.
Swamiji, so we are just dummies, right?
Eh?
We are just dummies, puppets in his hand.
Puppets.
Dummy.
Yes.
If we have reached that stage, we will know we are dummy. At the moment, we feel we are something. But we will, by inward journey, by our intense spiritual exercises, we will slowly come to know that we are what we are because of that. It is not dummy. We are, creation is valid. We are valid. We are not to be written off. He is there, he is there. He is expressing himself through us.
It is all his play.
It is all his. It is all his that we will be able to say only when we change the height. So now we go with the words of masters and scriptures that we are he. So we are not praying, our prayer should be to connect ourselves with him. We still feel we are individual. Whatever we have said, it is only an intellectual assumption, intellectual matter which we have stored. So somebody said, it has not become our own experience. Until such time we maintain our sense of individuality and try to pursue with all our humbleness. And we say, you please make us aware that you are there.
Swamiji, then the whole spiritual exercise is to know that I don't exist.
If you know that, I don't exist. I exist.
The whole spiritual exercise is to know that I don't exist.
No. The I, not that I. The sense of individuality by itself cannot exist. That's all. Sense of individuality exists. Bulb exists because of the power. It is not that the bulb is not there. So he is available to us through his varied manifestation.
By myself? I myself, I have no power. By myself.
We are all. That is why you remember Swami Vivekananda said, Sunvandu Vishwe Amritasya Putraha. We are all heirs of immortal bliss. Why should we degrade ourselves, belittle ourselves? We have forgotten that we are the heirs of immortal bliss. That's all. So we are trying to connect ourselves with him and then So let us not belittle whatever He has given to us. He has given us a body, mind, intellect complex, a vibrant sense organs, a mind and intellect, everything He has given. The 200 organs are there in the physical body. It's a beautiful classic example of His marvelous excellence. So we don't belittle anything. The only thing is we have not understood that He is there. He has given us this body, mind, intellect to know that He is there. But we forgot about it. We started going along with the equipment. Now He has been kind enough to call us and tell us, hey, look here, I am here. Only because of me you are there. These words are given to us through Mahatmas and scriptures. And now we try to look. We want to progress again our old habits, pull us back. So this struggle is going on. So nothing is invalid, nothing is unimportant, nothing is irrelevant, nothing is insignificant. We find everywhere only He in varied manifestation. This is the approach of what teaches us.
Swamiji, we are all different and unique. We are all different and unique. What makes us different and unique?
We are all different. Some basic factors, all of us have the same thing. What is the different thing? The mind. Otherwise, all our bodily functions are the same for everybody. We all need air to breathe. We need water to drink. We need earth to exist. We need space to move about. We need the 98.4 degree temperature to keep us alive. We need sun. We need, all of us need vegetable, food stuff, food articles. And the digestion, heart, the activity of the heart beating, blood circulation, digestion, all of the same. For everybody it is same. The only difference is in the mind. So we start thinking, what is it that makes me different from others? We don't get the answer. So we go to the Shastras. So the Shastras say that it is because of the previous prior dharma. So those are all the Vedantic studies. In Atmabodh, they have clearly analyzed. There are three bodies: physical body, subtle body, gross body, subtle body, cosmic body, and they said what is it constitute of. Okay, that is what it is. So the prarabdha karma and prarabdha means what? The accumulated tendencies and vasanas in me in my previous birth. They decide this present birth. And that is why the body is given to me according to my vasana. Panchendriya mahabhudam sambhavam karma sanchitam shariram sukadukhanam bhoga ayatanam uchyate. Karma sanchitam. All these five elements, Panchendriya mahabhudam. So the five elements, Panchendriya sambhavam karma sanchitam. Depending upon my karma, it has been allotted to me. So I express as an individual, which has got the common characteristics of everybody, but what I have brought is different from the other person. So that is the one which makes me unique. That is the one which makes me different from others. And again, Vedanta clarifies that is because of unfulfilled desires. So when that is why we got into this birth and death circle. So when the call comes from within, that it is time for us to look back to a state where we are freed from the birth and death, then we start moving towards Him and ultimately pray to Him to remove us to free us from the cycle of birth and death. So this is how the Vedanta puts it.
Swamiji, if the desire is to only reach Papa, to know the ultimate truth, even if that desire is unfulfilled, even then we take a bath. Is that so?
That is okay. That is probably because of that only we are now sitting at between 4 to 5. There is an unfulfilled desire in our system. So that has not been very strong. Now with this birth it is getting more and more stronger and stronger. Otherwise it will not be. I would request, let us concentrate more and more on this aspect, rather than allowing the mind to go to these points. Though they are all varied. But it would be better, for our own easy spiritual progress, for the easiness. We will develop this, We have him, we know he is there. We don't remember that he is there. So we are now trying to bridge it by praying to him to make us remember him always. I think if we limit ourselves to that and concentrate our efforts on that, that would be more and more helpful. The other one may be able to satisfy our intellect. Again, we are back to square one. Here, what is needed is urgently to connect ourselves with him. Somehow we have to connect ourselves with him.
Swamiji, one more question, one doubt, or rather one burning question is, this mind is not even an organ. It is not an organ supplied with blood, this, that, nothing. Why does it bother us so much? There are so many organs which will have diseases, and it will bother us, like a heart, liver, stomach. They may have problems and they will give us problems. But the mind is not even an organ. So why does it bother us so much?
That's what I know. When the mind is nothing but thought flow, so thoughts, suppose we start analyzing it, Vedanta gives answers for all these. Again, it owes its origin to the Panchabhutas only. But I would specially request, why not we concentrate more and more on connecting ourselves with the power than struggling to understand this. It may be not that it is not valid, but let us try to focus our entire attention on this. There, you get a lot of theories. So many theories you will get. It might satisfy our intellect. But what is needed is the connecting up. Whether we have been able to connect up with that power, that is important. Or Papa's approach is somehow to connect up. Right from the IQG sends a message that the whole 37 chapters stand for connecting up. So, why not we concentrate on that aspect? The other one is, the field of the other one is very vast. We can keep on bringing so many interpretations from Upanishads, Atmabodh, Tattva-bodh, Vivek Chudamani. It will all help, no doubt. But we nowadays feel that it will stay at some level, but it is not really helping us to get connected with him. For a few probably that may be the mistake. But for us, we feel now, Papa's children, we feel we have to blend this jnana and bhakti together. Not merely jnana. So let us try to concentrate more and more and pray to him. You are there in the form of awareness, consciousness. You are there in the form of life force. I know that. But at the same time, I am unaware. My thought indicates that it is a defining, and I can understand, I can see the thought. So I know there is something other than the thought. But those things I can definitely understand. Good thought, bad thought, big thought, ennobling thought. I am in a position to understand. Who is understanding? I know there is a witness consciousness. So I cannot see the thought. But normally I am carried away by the thoughts. I am carried away by the dictates of my thoughts. I really know that I am aware of the thoughts. So there is something other than the thoughts. Like that, we blend jnana and bhakti together and then try to proceed. Are we reaching somewhere? It's the toughest job, really. So better, surrender. I am nothing. I can't do anything by myself. Please, pull me, take me out. Enough is enough. I think that would be the simplest way. Like a child crying to his mother. The other one is a little complicated. Not that it will be fruitless, it will be fruitful. But it is little complicated. For people like us, the easiest way is to approach it and then plead, appeal, try, and somehow try to get the gap filled. With that, we will close today and we will meet tomorrow. Hello. Om Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram,